You're listening to Business Daily from the BBC with me, Manuela Saragosa. Well, if Andrew Brooke is dubious about the benefits of the global trade in second-hand clothing, Lamin Bah most definitely isn't. He's the CEO of a company called Global Clothing Industries based in Atlanta in the US. He told me more about how he started his company.
I'm from Sierra Leone. I grew up in Africa, seeing a lot of people selling used clothing in the street. I knew there was a need. The opportunity came to me in 2006 to purchase an existing company. We started with 8 employees at a small facility. Now we have around 150 employees. We have grown to a new facility, which is about 130,000 square feet.
So how do you choose your clothes? Presumably you're exporting second-hand clothing from North America to places in Africa or elsewhere as well?
We sell in Africa, of course, in Sierra Leone. We sell in West Africa and East Africa. We sell to Latin America. We sell such as like Nicaragua, Chile, Guatemala. And we sell to Eastern Europe, Australia. We even sell to England and Japan, our vintage clothing.
Does each market differ? Do they want different things from second-hand clothing? Or is it pretty much the same everywhere?
No, it's not the same. The difference is in Africa, they want good quality clothing for less. The Africa climate is very, very hot, so they prefer summer clothing. In Eastern Europe, they like winter clothing. In Western Europe, we sell our vintage clothing. In South America, we sell winter clothing to Chile. In Nicaragua and Costa Rica, the higher premium quality product.
Oh, how do you explain that they want higher premium quality there?
We've been doing this for almost 10 years now. We know what the customers are looking for. And being from Africa, it makes it a little bit easier because when I was growing up, I used to see how people are selling this clothing in Africa. And for doing it for so long, you tend to know what the customers are looking for.
Has there been a lot of growth in this kind of demand for second-hand clothing, or is it contingent somewhat on whether or not there is a domestic clothing industry in the countries you export to? Clothing manufacturing industry, I mean.
There is always a demand for used clothing. I don't think we are competing with local manufacturing companies at all. When you think about the population of Africa, I believe it's close to 1 billion. And there is a demand for it. The challenge is that we have China that is dumping a lot of poor quality clothing in Africa, and the quality that is coming from America and Western Europe is a way better quality than the quality we're getting from China. And they are the manufacturer, and now you see a lot of Chinese people selling in the street in Africa. They have their own retail stores competing with the Africans. And being an African, seriously, I'm extremely concerned for the industry. If the Chinese are the manufacturer, they are the one who are producing the product in China, and you competing as an African, having retail stores everywhere you go to African countries, whether you're in the West or in the East African countries, you see a lot of Chinese guys opening stores in Africa. If they manufacture and they are doing the retailing in the street, I'm kind of concerned because when I was growing up in Sierra Leone, I grew up in a town called Kono. In Sierra Leone, I used to see a lot of people selling used clothing. And believe it or not, somebody will have like $25 or $50 at a time, and they will take care of their children through primary school all the way to secondary school, some of them all the way to university. So used clothing is not just giving dignity to the poor, it creates a lot of jobs for the little guy in the street.
You mean in terms of reselling and retail?
Yes, when you think about it, with used clothing, it's a unique business. All you need is $50 or $100. You can go to any store in Africa, buy this clothing and go to the street and start selling.
So presumably the way it works is you sell in bales, you sell by tonnage, or how does it work?
The way it works is we've been buying from brokers around the United States of America by the pound. They sell it to us on a truckload. We bring it to our warehouse, we process it, look for what we are looking for, and we sell around the world.
There are people who say it's undignified to have to assume that people in these countries, in African or Latin American countries, should be wearing second-hand clothing, that really it's time for a clothing manufacturing base to develop in these countries, and the only way to do that is to stop the sale of second-hand clothing to these markets?
I honestly disagree with that statement. When you think about being from Africa, the kind of clothing that they are getting, for the kind of money they are paying for it. And if companies in Africa are trying to be into manufacturing, they are welcome, but I don't think this will be banning used clothing, because guess who is going to pay the price? It's the poor people in the street. They cannot afford to buy the clothing that they're going to be creating or manufacturing in Africa. Think about it. When I was growing up in Africa, there was a lot of local industries in Africa. Where are they now today?
But there has been controversy about it in the past, in the sense that, for example, in some African countries, they were receiving used underwear, and that was banned, I think, in Uganda and various other places as well. Things like that have contributed to this perception that it is slightly undignified.
Like I told you before, I totally disagree with that. I guarantee you the quality of clothing that is coming from America in Europe is way, way better than what they are getting in China. And nobody going to send underwears that is undignified. There is no way they can ban used clothing in Africa and the Africans don't pay a price. They will pay the price.
Lamin Bah of Global Clothing Industries. He brings us to the end of this edition of Business Daily. There's more business news on our website, where the top story on business is that airline passengers have been warned by US authorities not to switch on or charge their Samsung Galaxy Note 7 phones when on board a plane. That's after Samsung recalled the phone last week amid reports that the device was exploding during or after charging. That's it from Business Daily for now. We're back again at the same time on Monday.